Hello, uh, I'm back again, and I want to talk to you about living within your means. Today, January 16th, 2012, there's a talk show on the television, The Wendy Williams Show. Guest, Susan Altman. And I've been listening to this lady for quite some time, and sometimes she just makes me sick when she talks about her predictions about the economy and telling people how to invest and how to work with their money. And today she was talking, and I was listening to it. First, I didn't want to, but I decided to just listen anyway. And as I reflected on what she was saying, I recognized that she was giving people information based upon the way the system works. She's quite familiar, and I must understand, and you must understand, that we're not just living in a world that's blank and it's creating its pages day by day. No, these pages have been printed, set out for a long time. They've been in the classrooms, they've been in the marketplace, so people who study these things have a pretty good idea of what things should be based upon its history. And so it makes it kind of likely that when they make these predictions, chances are they are going to work or come close to it. I hear this guy talking about mad money and all these people that were and have been giving out information. But this big housing thing came along and that bubble burst, and the predictions that they had been giving kind of failed for the people, and these economists would come back and say that this was just an anomaly, and it didn't prevent them from continuously making predictions. And so she was there today talking about living within your means. And to make a story short, I want to go into all the things she said, but she said if you got $3,000 and your monthly bills are thereabouts $3,000, you don't go out borrowing or buying stuff that's going to put you in a bad position. Like, don't go buy a car. You're only getting $3,000 a month, and with the bills that you got are almost $3,000 a month, chances are you can't afford a car. And that basically makes a lot of sense. The thing that upsets me about this, though, is that they choose to advocate for a system that next year, that person who is making $3,000, the amount of money that allows them to pay their bills, totaling about $3,000 a month, next year might only be making $1,500 a month. And so what you could do this year, you won't be able to do next year. And in fact, some of those bills that you got today, you won't even be able to handle those next year because the money will not be available, and you're going to really be in a tight squeeze. And that upsets me when people only got this kind of information. However, perhaps that's only the information they're supposed to give you. So I am upset because I don't follow the system. As spokesman and advocate for basic human rights, I talk about the ideal system. And the ideal system is nothing that's just in my imagination, but is predicated and founded on the principles that there is a God who is superior to all of everything we understand. And what we're basically referring to is man's concept of limitations. And when we say limitation, the limitation usually is just for some people, and it seems to be off for others. You see, and I think the message that I want to give to you, in fact, I'm sure that the message I want to give to you as a lobbyist for God is this, is that God has no limitation. And that only people who don't know God accept the fact that there are limitations. People who say they believe in God, they accept these limitations as well because they don't know God. And I'm going to say this in the hopes that it will help you to understand God. You see, when we start talking about money, and that usually is always the problem. You can't get this, you can't get that. Why? Because money. And money is controlled by the makers of money. And that control gives them and allows them to be able to manipulate societies and people the way they want to. And the people who just say they believe in God but trust man and put all their allegiance in man follow the dictates of man. But if you could focus in on God for a moment, focus in on this power that created the earth and all the things that's in it. And if you did that, you would understand that if God made oil, if God made gold, earth, food, eggs, chicken, all of these things that you eat. And how can man say that God is limited? I don't understand it. But let's say, and I want you to see God like, and God's preparation like a buffet. Here in Minnesota, we got Old Country. Everybody knows Old Country Buffet with all that good food. I mean, you can go there and you can wipe it out. I mean, you can eat as much as you want. Various things that different recipes, you can eat them. You can eat as much or as less. You can get some now and go back when it's hot. All of these things. And yes, you have to pay when you come through the door. They don't give it to you free. And so you might say, well, money is important because without money, you can't get in that try Old Country. But see, with money, the way today stand, the way things operate today, when you refer to Old Country and money, only the wealthy can go and eat and get what they like. But under God's plan, it's different. You see, God does not operate with money. God's principle is this: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. God has made each of us to do various things, and those various things that we do are all of the things that are being done today. Those careers, those jobs, God created that. God implemented that into our being. And because of that, we are able to create all the foods, build all the things that are built, prepare to do great monumental things because of God. Now, doing unto others as you would want others to do unto you means that you give your part. You contribute what God has given you. And through your contribution, it all creates that buffet. Creates houses, creates schools, creates hospitals, creates, you name it, it's in that buffet. And it's predicated based upon your contribution. Now you've contributed, that is your money. And because you've contributed, you have access to all of those things that we have created and say we need as people. And it didn't cost you one penny. Well, in America, in places where they have different systems, it costs money, but it didn't really cost money. All it cost was your understanding, your will, your gift, and your commitment to be involved. That stuff about money and all that kind of stuff is man trying to control it. Take man's control out of it to that degree and allow the control that sets it up so that everybody who has a gift and who want to contribute and agree to contribute in their particular field can do it. Can do it. Doesn't cost any money. Just do it. And all of these things are created and you participated and you can take from that buffet what you desire. Didn't cost you a penny. And this way, nobody's trying to rob you, nobody's trying to steal, nobody's trying to exploit. You don't have to get somebody to come on TV and try to tell you how you can use your home, to use your assets or others to invest in your daily life, and you still well, don't lose your home when you're using up your equity. You can bet there's a trap in there some way. I'm not trying to go into that trap because that's not important. I'm telling you about that buffet and all of those things that's created by you, the people, that doesn't require money, and you did it. And if you agree that you're doing it because it's your gift and you want to do it, then everybody can get their cooked. Now that's the way I see living beyond your means. God didn't limit you. You limited you.